Hi guys, welcome back to MBA Pulse. You've been watching my bootcamp sessions on how do you really board a PGDM institution. And I've been talking about the difference between PGDM and MBA in terms of curriculum, in terms of closeness to the industry when it comes to PGDM. And today I'm going to explain something on the pedagogy, which is primarily used in good B schools, and also about how do they run a course so that it is effective for you to, to use it, when you go to industry. So it's very clearly focused on industry, practically how these things are applied. It is necessary for you to learn the concepts in the beginning, maybe the first semester or the first year. Your conceptual understanding has to be absolutely clear before you apply anything in the PGDM sphere. So if you go to the industry, definitely you are supposed to know the concept that is taken for granted, but you should also know how do we really apply. So the pedagogy of a PGDM institution, good PGDM institution, will be definitely a blended learning process. So it will not be just theoretical of sessions, delivering classroom sessions alone. It will be a blended learning. The blended learning, what do you mean by blended learning? It will have a classroom session, it will have video reading, it will have book reading, it will have case studies, it will have group discussion, it will have individual presentation, group presentation, it will have quizzes. So it will have end term, it will have midterm, all these things put together. And the technology, when it is effectively used through ERP, it is called a blended learning process. And most of the good B schools, the big ones and the branded ones, will definitely look at a pedagogy which is more towards technology and also more towards case studies. So you will invariably have two or three case studies, especially Harvard case studies and some of the Indian case studies as well in every single course. Most of the courses in PGDM are a 3 credit course. I have explained already to you. A 3 credit course is basically 30 hours of sessions delivery plus all these things I talked about, total 30 hours plus. So minimum 30 hours they will deliver. And a good B school prepare academic calendar very much in advance, and they share it with the ERP module with all the students through emails as well. And also the course outlines are very clearly defined in the beginning. So it is normally shared through ERP module. And students are expected to read certain articles before even attending sessions. So you should not be wasting too much of time understanding the concepts in the classroom. If you go prepared, what is the session for the day, and if you go prepared, it will be easier for both you as well as to the faculty who is delivering the course. So if you look at the final grading of all these things will be 100 total, you know about it, and if 40 percentile or 40 percentage maybe through end term and midterm put together. Some professors offer only end term and they don't go for midterm. Some do have 15 or 20% midterm, and the rest 20% or 25% to end term. And they can have case study preparations and presentation case studies, 2 to 3 of them I talked about. So that constitutes almost 20% of your marks which you are going to obtain. And the quiz will have a 10% normally, and you will also have class participation 10%. So this is what a good PGDM institution will look at when it comes to the grading of a student. So case studies is a must. And let's now take an example of a course in the first year. Let's say it is Marketing Management 1. So I will give you some outlines of what are the things you will be looking at it in this course. So they are called objectives of the course. So what are the normal objectives of a marketing course if it is conceptual in the beginning of the year, that is first term, or even the second term? It will be to understand the meaning and the value for customers' point of view, to identify the market opportunities environment in marketing segments, to know the consumer behavior pattern. These are the primary objectives. At the end, sales and distribution is definitely there. sales promotions are there, and the P's, 4 P's of marketing, all those things are definitely there. So to develop a capability to holistically integrate the conceptual learning with the real life situations in the marketing space or in the marketplace. That is the objective of the course. If I talk about MM1 or Marketing 1, different PGDM institutions named differently. So the first year course I'm talking about. So when it comes to the content, what are the things we are really looking at it? The marketing is what is marketing. Number one will be the content of it, and we will also talk about managing the customer. So ultimately, marketing management is managing the customer and understanding the buyer's choice. So we call it consumer behavior or buyer's choice. And how is it interlinked with the technology now, with the coming the days of futuristic thing? The consumer and the technology market concepts you must understand. So we can have segmentation, we can have targeting, we can have positioning, we can have understanding of the competition and the product the development, product introduction, brand management, and also when you talk about the academic activities, normally PGDM institutions suggest 10 to 12 books. So it is impossible for anyone to read all 10 to 12 books, but things can come from anywhere. So you must be a good, fast reader to understand this thing when you land in a PGDM situation. And it also gives very clearly the session plans. I'll give you certain examples of sessions. So a session may be ranging from 1 hour 15 minutes to 1 hour 30 minutes, 1.5 hours, depending on the institution you are joining. So if you, and then they clearly define what are the chapter wise or the session wise plan. So for example, an overview of the marketing may be the first one, and relevance of marketing and concepts of marketing. When they do this, they also give something like suggested reading. So you're supposed to read these things before you come to a session to attend a class. I mean, say for example, Marketing Myopia by Levitt is an example I'm giving. So you're supposed to read this. Online is definitely there. You can offline also you can read the books. So this is an example I gave. Myopia of Marketing, by Levitt is one example. Then we will also have, when you talk about session plans, you have elements of, environment and how environments affect a company or an organization, and specific to Indian scenario, what are the challenges we have in marketing, and post-COVID marketing strategies may be slightly different to the normal marketing strategies. That's another example. And what business actually you are in, and how do you compare yourself with others? So that could be the another question. And so again, you will have a lot of reference material like Theodore Levitt, which talks about in the Port to Diamond. Definitely a case study is definitely there. And then we also touch upon in marketing one differentiation strategy or differentiating strategy we talk about. So how do we differentiate ourselves from others in the competition, and what are the features of the main things of your organization to sell your product and services? And developing marketing strategies is another thing. If you look at the outline, and strategic planning is very, very important. And marketing planning, how do you launch product or services, and how do you plan this in advance? Elements of strategies and conceptualizing the marketing mix. Marketing mix is what product mix or what service mix you should have, and then marketing intelligence is very, very important nowadays to understand the marketing intelligence. So MI is taught in all the MM1 paper. Marketing research is very important. Again, it gives a very clear understanding of the environment in which you're operating and what sort of details you got into it before you launch your product or competing with others. And forecasting techniques is also very important. Concept of customer value proposition. So how does a customer view your product or services vis-a-vis others, and the customer relation management, CRM we call it, and database marketing, that's also a big thing to look at it. And finally, the product life cycle, which talks about the introduction stage, and then the growth stage, and then the stagnation, and then the decline, and then actually the product ceases to exist, and then another curve starts. So it's called a bell curve or product life cycle. Like our life cycle, it also goes through the product or service also goes through the similar process. So this is a basic thing about MM1. So in the boot camp, I just want to give you the understanding of how the sessions are planned, what are the contents, what are the objectives of this course. Similarly, I'll be getting into details of other specialization. Today I picked up marketing, probably I'll pick up finance, strategy, HR, and other things to come. Thank you so much for watching this video, and keep watching, keep sharing. Visit www.mba-pulse.com and also subscribe to my channel MBA Pulse. Have a great day.